Okay guys, I promised to make an horchata video with milk, so here we go. I'm using a half cup of long grain rice. To that I will be adding 1 cinnamon stick. I'm going to break that up and just toss that in there. Then next I'm going to be adding 2 cups of room temperature water. I'm just going to pour that all over the rice and cinnamon stick and allow this to soak for at least 5 hours. I know a lot of recipes soak the rice overnight. Actually, that's how my grandparents do it. But if you forget to do that, 5 hours works just as well. So again, you want to soak for at least 5 hours. Okay, so my rice has soaked for at least 5 hours and I want to show you. A good indication that this will blend well is if you can break the rice grains with your fingers. So here I can easily break the rice grain in half, so I know it's going to blend in my blender. So at this point, I'm just going to pour this entire bowl of water, rice, and soaked cinnamon stick into my blender and give it a whirl. By the way, I want to mention, while I'm blending this, I actually have a dairy-free option for horchata that is actually using chufa nuts. I will leave the link in the description and also at the end of this video. You can check that out if you don't want to add dairy to your horchata. Actually, my grandfather, when he would make this, he rarely did add milk or evaporated milk. He strictly would use water, rice, and a handful of almonds and sugar and cinnamon and some vanilla. And that's pretty much what he would do. Now, I would love to add almonds to this, but I am a nut-free, peanut-free home, so I'm sticking with rice. Now I'm just going to add a teaspoon of vanilla, and I also added a half cup of sugarcane sugar. You can use whatever sugar you have. I thought I filmed it, but I didn't. I think for what I'm making today, the amount of horchata that I'm making today, a half cup of sugar is perfect. Okay, so now that everything is blended, I'm going to strain it through my wire mesh sieve. I'm also placing a mesh cloth inside just to catch any tiny bits and pieces of like cinnamon or rice that really didn't get ground up. My blender is not a high quality blender, so I'm pretty sure I'll have some chunkiness in there, and I don't want to choke on like a large chunk of cinnamon, so that's why I'm doing it. But if you have a good blender, you probably don't need the cloth. Now, speaking of cinnamon, I do want to add, if you don't have cinnamon stick, you can use powdered cinnamon, like just to blend it in there, but it really doesn't do this drink justice. For that true horchata taste, I really suggest getting a cinnamon stick and tossing it in there as opposed to using cinnamon powder. Now, I do understand the importance of using what you have and what's convenient, because I am all about that. But if you want to go the extra mile and make sure you use cinnamon stick, I would suggest you do that. It's just a lot more aromatic. Okay, so I have strained my rice liquid and I'm left with 2 cups. So now I'm going to add 2 cups of whole milk. You could use evaporated milk. Some people add condensed milk for sweetness along with evaporated milk. Do what you like, what you have. I'm using whole milk because guess what? I have it in my fridge. So I'm going to start off with, again, 2 cups of the rice mixture and 2 cups of milk, but I do want to make 2 quarts of this, so I'm adding 2 more cups of water, 2 more cups of milk. Now, the ratio of milk to water is completely up to you. If you just have 1 can of evaporated milk, then sub the rest with water. But I have milk, so I'm using it. So basically, I've used 4 cups of water, 4 cups of milk in this recipe. So again, the ratios are up to you, but this is what I like. And I also, if you don't come from a nut-free house like I do, I have to watch nuts and peanuts, I do suggest adding like a 1/4 cup of almonds. It really tastes wonderful in this drink. My grandfather loves to add almonds to his horchata, and I really do miss the flavors of my childhood. But again, I don't have nuts in the house because my son has nut allergies, so this is what we do. Okay, so I am ready to try this horchata, but I wanted to show you the lid I have for this pitcher actually has a nice strained little section to pour it out of, so that'll also catch anything that my sieve didn't catch. Okay, so I am going to use lots of ice, which I do suggest you do that. By the way, in my last Aguas Frescas video, someone commented that ice was not an ingredient. Guess what, honey? In my house, it certainly is. And definitely here in Texas, if you show up with Aguas Frescas with no ice, you got a problem. So I am pouring myself this drink. I know it tastes good, so I certainly hope you give it a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.